Hey Mitch, can you talk briefly just about how the race was for you this year? How challenging was the trail compared to other trails you've been on?
The trail was difficult because there was a lot of snow, but I think we should all be proud of it. It's a regular Alaskan trail, Alaskan winter, so yeah, the deep snow was different and completely different than what we trained for. So our race plan was OTF the whole way, and we had a lot of fun with it. The dogs are exceptionally tough, but some of these guys I don't think have ever seen snow that deep. So it was different, a little harder work, harder pulling for the dogs, and the old dog on the back of the sled has to do a lot more work too, so I noticed that. But I'm satisfied, and it was a good race.
How are you feeling right now, like physically, emotionally, mentally?
You know, I've seen in some movies where they say they get to the point where it doesn't hurt anymore. They're almost dead or something. Not quite that bad, but it doesn't hurt anymore.
What are the significance of having good leaders on a trail with wind and snow and coastal conditions?
Yeah, that's obviously a really important factor to be able to. A lot of the trail was not a trail. There was just markers every now and then, or what trail was there was blown over, or it would be really soft. The leaders have to be just incredibly tough and determined, mentally tough. One of the things that you don't recognize on a trail like that, but you get going on a good stretch and then suddenly you hit a big drift and it just face plants and belly flops, and it's really hard to manage that. And the dogs have to be smart and be tough. So you can't go too fast even when the trail is good, because it might drop out from under them right there. So leaders are really the key.
And how much focus does it take for you when there's, I guess, a lot more complexity to the trail and it's not just a skating rink?
Well, there's a lot to that. Yeah, you try to plan your resting differently. It takes more rest to go 50 miles. When you go 50 miles on a hard trail, it takes more rest than 50 miles on a nice fast trail. So there's all that to factor in, but just basically watch the dogs and see how they're doing. I think the biggest challenge for me with it was I don't think I've gone that slow with a dog team in 15 years. We've been training to go faster and faster, and suddenly 6 miles an hour was the norm, and I had a hard time getting my head around that it's okay to go 6 miles an hour, but the dogs were happy with it. They were fine, so it worked out.
Did this trail require more from you as a musher than a fast, hard trail? Were you ski poling more? Were you kicking more? Were you doing
I was
more?
running and pedaling and ski poling. Last year I just rode the whole way. I didn't have to do anything. We had so much extra power, but when you're wallowing in deep snow, the sled's tipping, you're jumping off, you're pushing, running, ski poling, trying to keep some kind of speed going. It's a constant workout. At least it felt like that to me.
Are you sore?
Like I say, it doesn't hurt anymore. My back's been sore, but it's good now.
Did you realize in the last, I don't know whether it was 24 hours, that you may or may not be able to catch up with the front, and kind of how was that to resign? You've said all along, I'm just going to do the best my team can do, but it's been the last, 7 years we've had a Seavey in the first or second or first spot.
Yeah, that's funny. You know, Dallas leaves and 2 spots open up. How does that work? But haven't thought about that yet. When I'm racing, I'm just in the day-to-day run-by-run mode, doing the best I can, making the best decisions. I don't think at any point I cut rest or did anything dramatic to try to catch anybody. I just want to do the right thing with the dogs all the way, and that's paid off for us over the long run. So congratulations to Yoar and to Nick, and I'm happy where I am. I think we did the best we could with a team that I'm proud of. So I really never had a point at which, oh gosh, I'm not going to, it just never happened like that. I'm here as quick as I can be, so I'm happy.
Was it nice to see Nick? Obviously, you probably haven't seen Dee Dee welcome you into a finish line. Yeah, that may be a new thing for the future.
That was nice, and I got to talk with Nick some, and of course you are, and I think we're all better friends than ever after having competed as hard as we possibly could against each other. So that's how it works out on the trail.
And a lot of folks have said they've never, for the longest time, we've had a lot of names that everyone recognized, but there's this pack of 20 people feel that are now just really getting into their prime. They're youthful, they're loving the sport.
Exactly, and I want to say that I think we should all be very proud of this year's race. Everybody that's involved with making the race happen, from the volunteers, the organization, the race leadership, and of course the mushers and dogs, people along the trail, sponsors, and gosh, even media. You didn't get that anyway. I've probably told all these people at various times in the last week to get out of my face. But we should all be proud of putting this race on a traditional trail, a snowy Alaskan winter trail, and aside from all the politics inside and outside of the race, when we all come out here, it's good people, it's great country, it's a wonderful trail, and the dogs are something that we're proud of. So I'm just really, I think we should be proud of ourselves for having a great race again this year.
Oh yeah.